Good morning. Little update for you on this frame I've been working on to hold queens, in other words, banking queens. The reason why I'm doing an update on this is I've got some sales coming this afternoon that my Mini Plus aren't ready for yet. I've made up 28 yesterday, but I haven't got them as far advanced as I want, and I want to go through them and cut out sales. So I'm going to hold these queens over in a bank. And the frames I'm working on, I'll go through and explain why I've done it. But it's a bit of fun, but a lot of people have said to me, oh, why don't you just put your cells in cages above frames? Well, yes, you can do that, but I feel they hold better, and you can work the colonies better when you've got them in a specific frame to bank them with. So I'll show you what I've done, and I'll try and explain the reasons why I've done it. So I'll start off with the cell bar frame, okay? I'll go through it in the process, the reason why I've done this, and just so you can try and work out what I'm doing. So first of all, you need to get this thickness down of the bar. Often when you buy these frames, be it Dadon, be it British National, they're all the same thickness when they come. So what I've done is I've reduced the width of this frame down to 16 mil, which coincidentally is exactly the same width as a Nico base cup holder, okay? Or thereabouts. But the whole idea of this is when you put this frame, whether it's got cells on or banked queens on, when you put that frame into your hive, you are reducing the risk of burr comb. Now, burr comb was a big problem for me when I started building cells. But as soon as I reduced the size of the frame down to make it thinner, and I pushed the other frames together in the colony, so when I've got I'll have my cells there, for instance, I'll have my cells here, I'll have my pollen frame next to it, and I'll have another frame of brood next to that, open brood. I can push the three together. It means the nurse bees are right in the middle there, and they don't build burr comb because there's nowhere for them to build burr comb on that frame. So that's the first thing, okay? You reduce the size of your frame down. And what you do is basically, but you buy frames non-assembled, you put them through a thicknesser, and you just reduce them down. So when you put them together, they're all the same size. You can't reduce them down once they're built. So just remember, thin frame, 16 mil, is the first thing you want to do, okay? So this frame will probably be for just a normal cell building frame, and I'll probably have 4 bars of cells in there when I've made this one up. But I haven't made that one yet because I've got plenty at home. But that's what I use. So that's a standard Dadon frame, okay? So this is what I've come up with to hold my queens. So what I've done is these centerpieces are detachable. And there's the Nico cup holders that hold the Nico white plastic actual grafting cell cup holders, but then obviously they go on to the cages go onto the white plastic, and then the white plastic then clips onto here. So effectively what I've done is I've created a module that you can remove from the frame when you're in a hurry. You can just pull it out like this. So it means that what I can do is I can go from my incubator, I can take this piece with me to the incubator, collect my queens that are marked, fed and watered, take them down, put some nurse bees in them if I want to, which I probably will now. I've found that seems to work quite well. And I can then insert these into my frame like this. And that's pretty simple. And I can then imagine there'll be cages in every one of these, or however many I need. And the whole idea is I will then bank these in a normal frame into the hive, so that I've got basically a bank that holds 32 frames, 4 lots of 8. So for me, for the Dadon hive, that's quite a nice, efficient amount. Next thing I wanted to discuss was burr comb again. Last year when I banked some queens, I found they built a lot of burr comb because I had empty spaces. So again, I'm using the 16 mil width, which is a thinner frame. And then I've reduced the overall area that is available. So obviously with the Nico cups in the system, I can't get a cup in every single place. So you have to find a way of using the best combination for the surface area, making it practical and also accessible quickly for you, but at the same time reducing the burr comb. So the only thing I could come up with was doing this, because I could try and put another fillet down there, I could try and put another fillet across there, but at the end of the day you're going to get some comb. It's just reducing the overall amount. So this will work well. So the cage queens will be held on their sides this time instead. I'm not using up a lot of resources. I can easily remove these cages from either my incubator or from other cell bars if I want to, and put them straight onto here if I need to. The whole thing is interchangeable. What Nico should really do is they should make a frame up that is interchangeable, and that would actually be a good good seller for them, you know, because a lot of people use the Nico system now, and they're all pushing the edges. They're all looking for cell bars, or they're all having problems attaching these cell bars to the wood or to the frame. They need to make a plastic frame like JZBZ does that they could actually sell, that would just clip in to here to make it more attractive to people to go to Nico again, because Nico are great. And what I found is I've listened to a lot of people on forums, and a lot of people saying that when they bought the knockoff stuff from other parts of the world, beware, because some of the times the cups don't fit in properly, they fall out. The plastic doesn't seat on the other plastic piece well. It's just something you really need to buy the #1 quality stuff. And once you buy it, I've used these for my 5th year now. They take cleaning after cleaning after cleaning, and they never move. The plastic doesn't budge or anything, you know? So anyway, that's my idea for a frame. The main thing is you need to have it interchangeable, and you need to be able to access it. So a normal frame is just what you need, okay? But what I've done, I put on the back, I put some metal spacers here. So what that does is that stops it falling through the frame, like I've done with my other hives, my other frames. So I can just put that in, and I know it won't go anywhere when I pick it up. So that's my idea for a queen banking frame. I'm gonna get some cells in there, and I'll give you an update on how it's going. But personally, I think that'll fit really well, and I think it'll work well for me. I'm basically using Nico for everything, so as far as I'm concerned, it's a no-brainer. Once you go one way, using two different things, Nico or JZB, can be difficult. And I found that when I was using cell bars, I've got some here, just bear with me a moment. These are the cell bars I used to use with the JZBZ. Okay, they're exactly the same size. They used to fit in there, right across my frame. But the problem I found was when I tried to remove the cells from the JZBZ bars, you see how they make an impression in the wood? They make a little circle. If you try and put more JZBZ cups back into here, often they fall out because the wood isn't strong enough, because it's already been depressed by this JZBZ push-in cups. But what they do make, though, in fairness to them, they do make now a replacement bar. So you buy the bars and you just slide it in. And I know they make one for the Langsdorff hive. So it's just something to bear in mind. But I've gone to Nico because of that, because I couldn't do the interchanging very easily. And for me, if I have cells that aren't taken, that are not accepted in the starter box, that's when I'm building cells, the first 24 hours, when I remove those from the starter and I put them in the finisher, I lift out any that aren't accepted, and I gap up in between here so that I've got full rows of 14 accepted cells. And that's how you get lines of really good cells that look the business. So a little tip there, but that's why I can do that with these cups, because it's so interchangeable. And once you've invested in a little bit of money, just to get like all your cups ready, everything's ready to go. So I hope that's some help. I hope it's a bit of fun. I'll let you know how I get on with this. And that was the metal I put on. It's just stapled it to the back, cut down some thin sheet metal we had, and it works really well because everything stays tidy with the frame. Have a good day.